Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your barber girl Tifa, the barber, and welcome back to another fade on the faded room. As you can see today, we have a client that's going to be getting a drop fade. He has about 4 different wave pattern changes in his head, so this cut was a little bit more challenging, as you guys are gonna see in this video. Here we just go in, and as you guys know, you gotta clear out the hair, make sure the hair is combed out and laying in the form that it naturally grows in. He has a really nice grain of hair, and it's just for us to clear it out and make sure it lays properly so we could actually cut it properly. If we cut anyway one of his wave change patterns in the direction that it doesn't grow, it's pretty much gonna leave a spot, a bald spot. So you gotta take your time with his haircut. As you guys can see here, I'm starting off on the side and just taking my time working my way throughout this whole haircut with the number 1 guard. The back of his head is not really gonna matter because, like I said, it's gonna be a drop fade, so all that back part's gonna be taken off. But I still go ahead and just make sure I level the whole head to that 1 guard that we have on the clipper, and then go from there and start creating my guidelines. As you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about, where his wave pattern just changed in different areas. Some areas are smaller where it changes, especially by the hairline, so you got to make sure you're pretty much cutting that area in the way that it forms, because like I said, it's going to leave little light spots and patches. Right there on his left hand side, you can see where he has kind of like a little cut just because of how his wave grows, but later on it kind of just naturally fill in on its own. I don't really have to do a whole lot to it. All we're doing right now is just to make sure we take down the hair as much as we can and then start into our fade. And here we go with our liners. We're creating our first ball line, our first guideline all the way around the head. And I like to start pretty lower just so I could have a better transition throughout my haircut till the end of the last part of the head that I'm going to be fading at. You know, different people, they do it however they want, but this is how I usually do it. I usually make sure it's a little bit lower in the back just to have that effect. And also I try to go with the silhouette of his head. As you can see, he has more of a curve in the back, so something that'll drop really does complement his head when it's done, the shape of his head. And then here we are with the clipper all the way open, and we're creating our next guideline. We're going to go in after this and pretty much blend that line out with the clipper halfway closed, and then just move our lever back and forth to get those extra hairs that's going to stay there. There's going to be different section in his hair where I try to go with the wave pattern the way it's growing, but sometimes it doesn't actually necessarily work like that. So it just, work your way throughout the head. It's all about problem solving when you're really dealing with a type of haircut like this. It's just try to figure out as you go what would be best for you to cut this hair. And here we are with and we're going halfway close, moving our lever back and forth just to blend out that line. And as you guys can see, that line is pretty much blending out that we created with the no guard lever all the way open. I'm sorry for this area being blurry, you guys, but I left it in there just so you guys could see the form and the taps that I'm doing at that line just to take it out. When I go all the way up, that just means that I still have the lever all the way open, so I'm not really creating any more guidelines. I realized for me to get a better fade, I got to move in between, from all the way open to all the way closed and in between, and that's how I get my fades to blend even better than just leaving it at the half and blending out that line. Now, as you guys can see right here, it's pretty much blending out really smoothly. And that transition is going to play such a big part later on at the end of this haircut. sidebar, you guys, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos, but this will be the last video that I'm doing that's going to be this format. Trying to create better content for you guys, so I'm going to do a different structure in the way that the video is going to be filmed and edited. So I hope you guys stay tuned to see that and you guys enjoy it. Here we go with our number 1 guard all the way closed, and we're creating that next skyline. We go about 1 inch up and just creating like that guideline right there. As you guys can see, like I said, sometimes I try to go in the direction that the hair is growing, and right here you see me tilting the clipper to the side just so I could get that area, but also don't make sure my guideline is within form and doesn't really have a straight line across, and then you know it's gonna look way different when you blend it out later on. Here we're gonna go in with the half guard all the way closed to blend out that line that we already created with the 1 all the way closed. As you guys can see, this is taking off a lot of the bulk that's right there to blend it, but it's not taking off all of it. So when we come back in, we're gonna go with no guard and all the way, you know, all the way open, and we're just gonna adjust the lever back and forth just to blend that area out too. These little areas at the side of his head is the hardest to blend because they're at such an angle that you have to adjust the clipper and put it at an angle and just use the corner of the blade and not the whole blade. So it's a harder area to blend. Here we are with the number 2 guard, and we're just debulking at this point here at the top, because we're coming to the point where this fade is just going to blend right in from the bottom all the way to the top, joined together. So we're just debulking with our number 2 all the way closed. As you guys can see, it's not as dark as it was beforehand, and we're just going to keep working our way to blend that area. We go with our number 1 now all the way open, and just to blend that dark area in. Now we're gonna move into creating our hairline. As you guys can see, this area right here, we already have his vertical bar set in. So we're just working on his horizontal bar right now. It's pretty much just matching up that area, taking our time because the line is already prepped. You can see how easy it is for us to just go ahead and create his hairline. You know, go straight across and create that hairline. Now we're just gonna go in and lightly apply some enhancements just to let his hairline stand out a tad bit. Not too much, you guys. Now we just go back in and pretty much just clean up this area, clean up his hairline, making sure everything is straight and ready to go. We're gonna brush it off, making sure no extra hair or fibers or anything like that is on his forehead. And we're just doing our final touches now, you guys, as you guys can see, making this hairline as straight as possible. And that will be the end of his haircut. Alright y'all, that's the end of this video. As you guys can see, this is the end of the fade. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Faded Room. And again, it's T5 the Barber, and catch y'all in the next fade.